All right, welcome to the second video. This will be the actual skinning of the cat. Probably something where I'm going to get the start of it, and then if the cat's actual skin is adhered really tightly to the underlying muscle tissue, it's something where it would have taken you guys 2 periods maybe to get that removed. So obviously, I'm not going to film 40 minutes and make you watch as we go through. I'll film a large portion of it and then cut. So again, this is our main goal, is to be able to make a cut pattern that looks similar to this, okay, that we will be able to have on the cat. So again, I'm going to find the point of least resistance. I would like to start here in the neck and work my way down the ventral side of the cat in an inferior direction towards the lower portion. Now, on the bag, it told me, and visibly you can see, this is a female, okay? So with this, as we move down, when we go to the abdominal region, okay? So as we move down and move into the abdomen and move towards the legs, we won't have to stop as early, because with the male, the scrotum pouch would be here. Okay, so we would have to stop, obviously, before removing that. So again, when we look at this, as I start to just kind of pull and start to find some places where the hide might come up, it's just going to be a matter of being able to find the place where resistance is the least. Again, it might be in the neck, it may be in there. And one of the things you might be able to see is there's a string attached here to the artery that's going up, a red string, just to show that that's where it's at and that they've done that. I want to try and save that. Now, if I can get under, if you can see, I have the blunt probe up under, and I'm going to hush for a minute so you can listen. Okay, that's me getting the hide kind of loosened up. I'm detaching the connective tissue of the skin, okay, that low layer, okay, from the muscle itself. So that's what I'm doing. You can see the probe moving underneath the skin here, detaching it. But I want to be pulling up on it because I want to protect the underlying muscle tissue, because that's the first thing we're going to look for under the skin. So I have this probe up under, okay, up under the shoulder region. So I'm going to hold that there, take a larger pair of scissors here, and I'm going to cut towards my probe, like a technique that I showed you guys a little bit on how to do that. Okay, to kind of hold up with the probe, okay, and I'm going to cut. So see how I held upwards with the probe, okay, and then I cut. So you can see here that now that I've done that, I've started to separate some of the hide, which is very, get my hands out of the way, okay, dense, very dense connective tissue. So give me a minute to find an angle that'll work with no partner. There we go. See, I kind of have a raking technique, okay, where I'm detaching the connective tissue from the cat in a raking type technique. Okay? It'll be easier to see when I can get larger portions of the connective tissue out of the way. Okay, so I loosen that hide. Okay, and again, I'm going to move into here. Okay, there'll be some muscles in here that we'll look at. Okay, and I'll get that across there. Okay. All right, so since I've got that loose, I'm going to make a cut down the midline of the cat. Okay, let me loosen to the midline. Okay, and start to expose the cat chest. And your fingers are one of your best dissection tools. I got to watch the camera. I'm no surgeon. I need to watch the camera more than the cat, that's for sure, because I keep working so I can see it here, and it's probably not making for very good video or TV. So again, I'm going to insert my scissors under the fur, under the skin here, and I'm going to cut lightly, okay, and start to disconnect the material. So again, here I've loosened this up and I've exposed the underlying tissue. So what you can start to see, okay, that I can see pretty clearly, here are striations. Okay, there are striations here. That is the cat's muscles. Okay, in this cat, this is a muscle called the pectoantebrachialis. Okay, so with that, pectoralis region, anti in front of, brachialis, in front of the brachialis. Okay, so again, you can see here as I have this is I rake this material. Okay, I separate skin from the muscle tissue. This is all fat, so this material right here is all fat. Okay, this is all fat. And again, I apologize. I'll get better at this about not blocking what I want you to see, because you're not here in the room with me looking at the cat like I am. You're on a camera looking at the cat with me. So again, the technique is going to be to lift the skin, okay, and detach it from the hide. Okay, so when we get to a point where there's going to be more of that to show, we'll get there. But I'm going to pause the skinning video now so I can do a little bit of work here on that without you having to sit here and watch this go for several minutes of me just kind of, again, this technique. I put the probe under, okay, lift with it, and I cut along the probe, okay, looking and checking for a moment, okay, to make sure I'm okay. That's all fat material. Okay, it's something that's probably harder to see on video, but there is a definite difference between skin. So again, we'll get to that. Here's the skin, disconnecting. There's my raking technique, okay? And that's just it. I've just got a blunt probe or hands in, okay? And then same thing over here, okay, where we rake the skin, disconnecting the connective tissue from, okay? Start to see here, there's a muscle on the underside of the skin for the cat, okay? That's specific to the cat's anatomy and physiology. So if you think about a cat, you know how its skin can move, okay? So that is not a muscle that we have, and we'll talk about that in the muscular system, okay, when we get to that. So last thing to show on this for right now is as we get into here, you're going to see I'm going to take my hand and I'm going to go up underneath, and I'm actually pushing the connective tissue away from the backside. Okay, you want to be careful because on the backside muscles of the cat, okay, what the humans have in terms of back there, in terms of your trapezius, your latissimus dorsi and stuff like that, they're thinner muscles in the cat in terms of their ability to withstand damage. So again, I'm using my hands, which could be a bit softer when I get in there versus the probe. So again, you can see that I'm going to use my hands now to push the connective tissue away. And again, I'm being mindful of my time. I'm going to try and keep these 10 minutes or under on each of these. So you can see here as I move the cat, okay, that I am dislodging the fur, okay, the skin from the actual muscle tissue below. Fat and material will be there. So again, I'll get this dislodged and continue to cut, and then make my cut around there. I'll come back up and work around the arms of the cat, if you will. So that will be what I'll work to do. And then when we get to the point where the skin is close to coming off, I'll show you guys some of those cuts as well. So I'm going to pause the video for now, or stop this video for this one, and then I'll come back to this with the cat pretty much skinned and ready to go.